So there's this amazing phenomenon in nature called interspecific adoption or interspecific fostering. Okay, and we see this example for gorillas that take care of kittens, or I mean, this might not be in the wild, but might be in a captivity. Or you see a pod of whales that take care of a dolphin that's either isolated or injured or whatever. We see it with other predator-prey relations. We see it in households where domesticated animals will be growing up or helping to raise a wild animal. So this is an amazing phenomenon, and it's kind of predicted by the Bible. In the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 6, we hear, "The wolf will live with the lamb. The leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a child will lead them." So this behavior is a form of altruism where an animal, often a mother, cares for the young of another species. The exact reasons are not known, but there are chemicals in our bodies, in our brains, and in animals as well. For example, oxytocin. Okay, this is called the bonding hormone, and it's written into the DNA, the genetics of the animal. A young, abandoned, or otherwise in distress animal can trigger those instincts, those impulses inside of the typically mother animal or maybe predator animal. Now, oftentimes the animal that's providing that care is actually benefiting as well. It experiences social and emotional stimulation, hormonal well-being, practice for parenthood, enhanced social standing. Now, what if I told you this idea of being adopted or fostering is central to the salvation of the human race itself? So Jesus is actually referred to by many communities in the Bible as the new Moses. Father Glenn talked about one crucial similarity in this recent Sunday Gospel. So Moses was born into an intense situation, okay, very sad, but, unfortunately, so the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, and they were still populating and growing in their population, and the Pharaoh was very terrified of this, and so he's like, you know what, it's not going to be allowed. He put a restriction on the births of new Israelites, and Moses was one of those. So Moses' parents sent him off in a basket and put him down a river. And he was actually found by an Egyptian princess, the daughter of Pharaoh. And she had those motherly instincts kind of take over, and a kind heart too. We can't ever fully know what goes on inside of our hearts and our minds, but she took Moses in. He was raised in royalty, and he was instrumental in the participation of saving Israel. Jesus also had a foster father, Joseph, Saint Joseph. When Joseph found out that Mary was pregnant, his instincts told him that it would be wrong to shame her. And he listened to the angel in the dream from God, and he trusted that message. He believed in that message, and he knew otherwise to shame Mary, to divorce her, would be wrong. Shortly after that, we have the three wise men, the three kings, the Magi. Most people don't know this, but they're actually scientists. They were highly ranking members of the Median or Persian priestly caste, known for their expertise in astronomy, astrology, ancient knowledge, medicine, history, and religious tradition. They used the scientific method and inquiry and their instincts, their intellect, their reasoning. They knew something special was going to happen in Israel. A completely different culture than theirs. And they went and they trusted that gut feeling that something really special is going to happen. They trusted their knowledge, their reasoning. And then when they met with Herod, who wanted to, unfortunately, again, kind of like Moses, prevent the Messiah from being born, he actually had an order to kill a bunch of young children at that time because he was afraid of Jesus. So those Magi used their instincts to not tell Herod where Jesus was. They knew, they trusted their gut that, okay, this guy's a little sus. All of these examples are revelation of this Catholic worldview of sacramentalism, or the sacramental worldview. So I've got this really cool book. I've been reading it. It's actually by my professor in my master's program for religious education, Father Harrison. And in this, he writes that God does work through the real world. God is not some far off entity that like made the world, made the universe, and now is like, figure it out. No, he is locked in with us by his own will. God wants to, and for all time has worked through us to save us. He works through nature, the physical world. He allows the spiritual to manifest. He does perform miracles, things that science cannot explain. Science cannot prove or disprove the supernatural because by definition, logically, supernature is outside of nature. We cannot use science to explain spiritual things. However, he does also act in ways that science can explain. The fact that we are called to love one another, the fact that we have hormones in our brains, chemicals in our bodies that make us want to bond and to connect and to love, these are gifts from God. The fact that we have intellect and can create wonderful things, solve problems, these are all gifts from God. You know, when we need to do a better job of trusting that if we don't see something perhaps miraculous or extraordinary, like a giant sign from God, sometimes we're tempted to think God isn't acting if he's not doing that, but he is. He is acting through you and through me all the time. The natural world isn't perfect, so we shouldn't expect ourselves to be perfect, right? If we ask God to help us with something, to show us something, to help us do something, and we don't do it perfectly, it's not because there's something wrong with us. It's the world is fallen. The world is full of sin and sadness, and we're not perfect, but that doesn't mean God doesn't want to work through us. The natural world can lead us to temptation and distraction. It can lead us away from God, but that doesn't make it bad. God will redeem creation. He made it perfect. It became corrupted through our mistakes, through our selfishness, but he will redeem it. Anything that has good, even a little bit of good, will be saved.